What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Welcome in. Welcome back to the channel. Here we go. Stage 5B of the Flat is Fast series. This is the last ride in the stage. It actually comes just after the 5A route, which are back-to-back. So just finished the Mech Isle Loop, Stage 5A route. I just posted a video on that a couple days ago, so I'll link it above, but was pretty happy overall with how I did in that race. It was just a short 4-kilometer race. I ended up using a gravel bike because the main climbing section in it was gravel along with the downhill right after. So I kind of pushed it up the climb, was able to thin the group to, there were about 8 of us in going into the last mile, coming off the gravel into the tarmac. And then most everyone else had road bikes, so I wasn't able to quite stick with them when we got to the finish, but ended up getting 7th place. So was pretty happy with that result, especially for a B race. Then jumped off the bike for about 15 minutes. And here we are, starting stage 5B. This is on the Watopia Flat Route, just over 10 kilometers and around 60 meters of climbing. So right now just going underwater, and then we'll have a climb on the way out, and then we kind of end in the S's. So there'll be some rolling hills at the end. Definitely tough once you're on edge. The heart rate's high at the end. So goals to sit in for as long as I can. Legs were definitely feeling it after that first race. Heart rate got high, but it was really the fatigue in the legs. It was interesting. It was only a 6.5 minute race, so I was able to average over 4 watts per kilo, but really took a lot out of what I had in the legs for the day. But can't make an excuse because everyone's dealing with that. It was a quick effort. Everyone got about 15 minutes to relax, and here we are. So this is the longer effort, just over 10 kilometers. And here we start to make that climb out from underwater, and some of the front group really stepped on it. So I had to put in a dig of 450, 500, I think I hit 600 watts there coming out just to make sure I was able to stick with the front group. It got kind of strung out, but ultimately it looks like that actually split the group. So I'm looking at the top right mini map, and there's a bit of a split. It looks like there's maybe 12 of us in this front group. As I'm falling back, it looks like it's a little bit bigger. It's 15, but the group behind actually ends up catching. So they also pushed once they got to the top of the hill after the tunnel, and ultimately most of us stay together. So pushed to make sure I jumped in with the front group, but in the end didn't really matter. Almost hitting the halfway point already. This is the end of the Flat is Fast series, so it's been a fun one. I will say it didn't really feel like all of the stages were that flat. Everything had, I guess there were no crazy long climbs, but there were definitely features that included hills that were key features in a lot of these stages. So overall, a really fun race series. The next race series is actually Z Racing Scotland. So the Scotland map was just released. I just did the Rolling Highlands route and made a video about it. That's from Tour de Zwift. But they'll be releasing the rest of the routes throughout the Z Racing series. So week 1 is also the Rolling Highlands route. Week 2, I believe, is the crit course, actually. So Scotland will have a new crit course, which I'll definitely want to check out. Really excited to race there. And then we'll go on from there. So this is the end of Flat is Fast, but moving on to more exciting things and new maps. So just over 2 miles to go. Looks like we have one rider off the front. My heart rate's getting high, around 180, but it's really the fatigue in the legs that are hurting me. I know we're kind of coming up to this rolling hills section. We're at 33 meters of climbing. Total in the race is around 60, maybe just over 60. So I know we still have half the climbing left in the last couple of miles. I'm doing everything I can just to sit in the middle of this group as we cross through the finish line of that sprint, and I get an aero power up. This is on 2.5 times speed, so getting through this one pretty quickly. But here we go, hit a climb. Some of those fire socks you could see. So guys are really putting in an effort up this climb. And I kind of just get spit out the back. I use that aero boost. I realize I'm in trouble, and it's just too late and not enough too late. So I got spit out of the back on that climb and coming back downhill, and once you lose the draft of that group, there's no coming back from it. So unfortunately kind of jumped out just over, it was around that 2 kilometer mark to go. Man, I was gassed. I remember my legs were hurting. So I'm still pushing. There's a rider about 30 seconds behind. So I just want to make sure I'm continuing to put in enough effort that I don't get caught there. It was just that kind of 4, 5, and then 6% climb where some of the riders just absolutely put down the power, and I didn't have much left in the legs. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how I did in this Flat is Fast series. I decided to join the B rides for all the stages and had a lot of fun with it. I think it made me a better rider. Actually, in the stage 5A, I increased my FTP. So I'm around 246 watts now, and that's at 75 kilograms. So I'm getting stronger. Got dropped here, but I was able to finish with the front pack in, I think, 2 or 3 of these races in the series. So enjoying it. More from Scotland to come as I cross the line in 31st. That includes the A riders too, but 3.0 watts per kilo. Guys, thanks for being here. Can't wait to show more Scotland content and get started with that. So thanks for being here, and until the next one, this is Cadman Cycling. Catch you then. Bye.